moving forward, in the practice area, we'll go ahead and select the ranges icon. In this area, you'll have the ability to make any changes to settings at the top area that you can see as far as venue filter, sky, wind speed, time, and so on. All of that information is set to the default that we had in the practice range defaults area in the sim setup area, and can also just be adjusted here as well as needed. Once we've selected our venue, the first thing I like to do, especially for online locker users, is we'll go through and hit the clubs menu and pull up basically the menu that will show you what your digital golf bag looks like and what clubs are in there. The reason that this is important is because when using the AG Locker app and the driving range in tandem, the idea is to select the club that you would like to hit, work on, practice with, so on, and get your average or stock numbers for each of those clubs. So for instance, for my golf bag, I do not carry a 5-wood or a lob wedge, so I've opted to move those out, and I've moved the 2-iron that I usually use in there and only go to a 56-degree sand wedge. The reason that this is important, like I said, is to make sure that I'm consistently keeping data that is accurate with my current golf bag, and being able to have those stock numbers, yardages, and data specifically for each of those clubs. We'll touch on this a little bit later when we get into the range, but for now, as long as you've got your clubs set up correctly and in place, we'll go ahead and X out of that menu, and we'll go straight into the driving range. Once we are in the driving range here, there's a few options such as graph and auto continue, aim, and the targets that we'll take a look at and make sure that we have a good understanding of exactly what we're looking for. To start, we'll look into the graph option. So this controls the graphs that you see on the left side of the screen, such as the spray chart, which is up top, and the apex and distance chart, which is on the bottom. You have the ability to either show all of your shots with this particular clip. You have the option to show the last 10, the last shot, or have the graphs completely off and not show any of the tracer trails for any of those shots. For now, we'll just have it show to on as all of them. From there, we'll move into the options area. And under the game settings, the most important options here are going to be your auto continue, which we already have set at 4 seconds, which I mentioned in the practice area. If you're working with a coach or want to take time to analyze, I would recommend anywhere from 7 seconds all the way up to the off setting, basically allowing you the time to hit your shot, go back to the computer screen, take a look at your data, take a look at those flicks videos you have, the balance data as well, and move on from there. You'll also have the ability to change your shot camera from here in the actual driving range. So if you're not content on the ball camera, you don't really care about seeing where the ball goes, you can select static camera or dynamic camera, and it'll stay right at the tee box where you're hitting from. From there, we have options as far as navigating to different areas of the practice range, such as all the different venues that we have, which include regular full-length driving ranges, long drive stadium courses, practice greens as far as par 3 practice, iron practice, wedge practice, anything for chipping and putting, and bunker practice as well. From there, you have the ability to get into your bag as far as the clubs go. You can go into the range data area, the post-shot menu to see the data from the last shot that you hit, and back to the main menu as well. Moving on, we've got the target setting. So you can see here that we've got the target all the way out at 270 yards, which is the default yardage for the driver in this system. You have the ability to adjust by 50-yard increments, or as little as 5 or 10 or 5-yard increments as well. You can move it 5 yards right, 5 yards left, depending on what kind of shot shape you're trying to hit to. And if we move this in a bit closer, we can go ahead and show you a nice little feature that we have that we kind of take from the Golf Channel show back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, called The Big Break, where you can actually hit a window pane. If you hit that window pane, it'll actually give you that glass shattering sound and give you a great sense of accomplishment. Highly recommend trying it out, playing the game with your friends, and giving it a shot. From there, you'll be able to access your clubs in the bottom right-hand corner. The reason again that this is important is if you're working on your club distances and averages, you can see that right from the bat at looking at my spray chart and the tracer lines all over, I was using many other clubs than just driver. So the idea here is to use just the club selected so you can get the average data for all of those data points that we collect for that individual club. All of that data will be uploaded directly to the AG Locker app for your specific club and profile. From there, we'll go ahead and move back to the main menu and get right into the round play settings.